There are moments in golf that last 1 second, but somehow stay with a player for years. And then there are moments that look small from the outside, but if you really understand this game, you know they can reveal everything. That's what made this Rory McIlroy moment feel different. Because this wasn't just about a bad shot. It wasn't just about a fan crossing the line. And it definitely wasn't just another viral clip for social media to argue over for 24 hours and then forget. No, this one hit deeper. Somewhere between frustration, memory, pride, and pain, something in Rory snapped for just a moment. And when it happened, golf fans everywhere saw something most athletes tried desperately to hide. Not weakness, not softness, something far more powerful than that. Something real. And the strangest part? That one emotional flash may have told us more about Rory McIlroy than any press conference ever could. Because if you think this story is only about anger, you're missing the part that might change the way fans see Rory forever. If you truly love golf, if this game means something to you, and if you enjoy stories that remind us why sports can feel so personal, then subscribe and become part of this golf family. Because around here, we don't just watch golf. We feel it, we respect it, and we live every moment of it together. Rory McIlroy has spent most of his career being seen as one of the most gifted players of his generation. Pure speed, pure talent, a swing that can look effortless 1 second and completely overpower a golf course the next. But if you followed Rory long enough, you also know his story has never been just about talent. It's been about carrying history. That's what made this moment so uncomfortable and so revealing. During a practice round at the Players' Championship, after an errant shot near the 18th, a fan made a comment tied to Rory's painful collapse at the 2011 Masters. According to multiple reports, the heckle hit a nerve immediately. Rory walked over, took a phone from the group, and the fan was later removed. The phone was eventually returned, and the golfer involved later apologized. NBC Sports, Yahoo Sports. Now on the surface, people saw what they always see. A clip, a reaction, a headline. Some fans defended Rory. Others said he should have ignored it. Social media did what social media always does. It turned a human moment into a quick debate. But here's the part nobody talks about. Golf is different from other sports. In football and basketball, in baseball, there is noise everywhere. It all blends together. In golf, the silence makes everything louder. Every whisper, every laugh, every comment from the rope line, especially when it targets the one scar a player never fully stops carrying. And for Rory, the 2011 Masters is not just a bad memory. It's one of the defining emotional moments of his entire career. Golf fans know that. Rory knows that. And deep down, maybe that fan knew exactly what he was doing too. That's why this didn't feel like normal heckling. It felt personal. And that matters, because the more you love golf, the more you understand this game is never just physical. It's memory. It's self-talk. It's emotion. It's every old miss, every old Sunday, every old collapse trying to sneak into the next swing. The greatest players in the world aren't just fighting the course. They're fighting their own history. And this is where everything changed. Because in that brief moment, Rory stopped being a polished superstar and became something far more relatable. He became a golfer, not just a pro golfer, a golfer in the deepest sense. Someone who knows what it feels like to hit one bad shot and suddenly feel 10 years of ghosts show up all at once. That's why so many real golf fans didn't just react to the clip. They felt it. Maybe not the exact same way. Maybe not with the same pressure, the same cameras, or the same stakes. But if you've ever stood over a shot with old mistakes in your head, then you understand the emotion. If you've ever had one careless comment get under your skin during a round, you understand the emotion. If you've ever tried to move on from a bad day in golf and realize the game doesn't let you hide from yourself, you understand the emotion. Rory's moment was messy, but it was honest. Wait till you hear what makes this even more important. The golfer involved later apologized and called it a learning experience. That matters because this story is not really about picking a villain and a hero. It's about recognizing how thin the line is in golf between entertainment and respect. Fans want access. They want personality. They want emotion. But the closer golf gets to drama culture, the easier it becomes to forget these players are not avatars. They are human beings trying to perform one of the hardest mental tasks in sports while strangers stand a few feet away. Yahoo Sports. And Rory, maybe more than anyone, has carried the emotional weight of public expectation for years. Think about the last decade of his career. Every major became about what he hadn't done yet. Every close call reopened old wounds. Every Sunday pressure moment became part of a larger story people kept writing for him. That kind of pressure changes the way fans watch you. But even more than that, it changes the way you live inside your own mind. So when this incident happened, maybe it wasn't really about one fan. Maybe it was about accumulation, the weight of memory, the exhaustion of constantly being reduced to your most painful moments, the reality that even one of the best players on earth can get tired of being reminded of the one shot, the one round, the one collapse people refuse to let die. And suddenly, the conversation becomes bigger than Rory. Because what do we actually want from athletes? Do we want authenticity? Or do we only want authenticity when it's neat, controlled, sponsor-friendly, and easy to consume? Because real emotion is rarely tidy. Real emotion can be awkward. It can be frustrating. It can make people uncomfortable. But sometimes that discomfort is exactly what makes a moment meaningful. And this is where the story turns from tense to strangely inspiring. Rory didn't hide from the tournament. He didn't spiral publicly. He didn't make the incident the center of his week. He went back to doing what great players try to do after emotion shows itself. Reset, compete, move forward. Even when he didn't want to discuss the moment, that silence said something too. Not everything needs to be explained to be understood. Golf. That's the lesson a lot of fans missed. Composure does not always mean feeling nothing. Sometimes composure is feeling everything and still showing up. That's a powerful difference. Because golf fans are used to seeing players celebrated for being mentally strong when they look calm. But maybe one of the strongest things an athlete can do is reveal, even accidentally, that the pressure still hurts, that the old scars still exist, and then keep playing anyway. That doesn't make Rory smaller. It makes his fight more believable. But here's the part that might stay with people the longest. This moment may have changed how a lot of fans view Rory McIlroy from this point on. Not as a perfect superstar, not as a symbol, not as a highlight machine, but as a player still carrying the emotional cost of caring deeply. And honestly, that might make people appreciate him more. Because golf greatness isn't just about trophies. It's about what a player endures in public while trying to keep believing in private. It's about surviving the noise. It's about showing up to the next tee with everybody watching, everybody remembering, everybody ready to turn your hardest memories into entertainment. Rory has lived with that for years. So yes, the moment was uncomfortable. Yes, he probably wishes it never happened. Yes, fans can debate whether he should have handled it differently. But if we're being honest, the deeper truth is this. That flash of emotion reminded us how much this game still means to him. And I think golf fans should respect that. Because the opposite of that emotion isn't strength. Sometimes the opposite is emptiness. Disconnection. Not caring. Rory cared. Maybe too much for one moment. But in golf, caring too much has always been part of what makes the best players fascinating to watch. By the end of this story, that's what lingers. Not the phone. Not the headline. Not the viral clip. It's the reminder that golf is brutally personal. That even the greatest players can't fully outrun the past. And that one emotional moment can expose the heart of a competitor more than a perfect round ever could. This is why stories like this matter. Because they remind us that golf is not just a game of swings and scores. It's a game of memory, pride, pain, resilience, and the courage to keep stepping back into the arena after the world has seen you at your most vulnerable. And maybe that's why Rory McIlroy's angry fan moment really did change everything. Not because it ruined anything, but because it stripped away the image and showed us the person. And once fans see that, they don't watch the same way again. So what do you think? Did this moment change the way you see Rory McIlroy? Or do you think it was just a brief reaction that people are overanalyzing? Let me know in the comments. And if you love golf stories that go deeper than